Hey you, welcome to Sacrilegious Discourse.
I'm husband.
I'm wife.
And together we're reading the Bible.
Starting with Genesis and eventually ending with Revelations, we're working through every book and offering our atheist 2 cents.
Or shekels.
Yeah, those. We're asking questions and pointing out all the nonsense.
We aren't academics or scholars.
Nope. In fact, when it comes to religion, we really don't know anything at all.
What we've learned so far is that God's a dick.
Oh, he really is, isn't he? If you're interested in how we reached this startling conclusion, maybe start from episode 1.
Otherwise, jump in anywhere. It's all good.
Yep.
Hey wife, we just got a new sponsor. It's Anchor. They must think we're doing something right because they picked us back up.
That's amazing. Want to hear something even more amazing?
Yeah?
I actually know what they are.
You are full of shit. I'm calling your bluff. Tell me about Anchor.
Okay, so Anchor by Spotify is the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place.
I'm actually surprised you knew that, but did you also know that Anchor has tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer?
Yes, because I see you do that on your phone all the time and it looks pretty simple.
It really is, and when hosting on Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
But I use CastBox.
Yeah, darling, I know you like CastBox. It gets distributed there too, and lots of other platforms as well.
And how much are we paying for this awesome service?
Absolutely nothing.
Coolio! So then we should tell people to download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started?
Yep, do it now.
Husband.
Wife.
So, if you joined us yesterday, you'll know that our episode ran a little lengthy.
And our intro ran a little lengthy.
Hey, fuck off. So, yeah, I forgot yesterday that I was doing an intro. So today I was like, okay, just an intro.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so we are doing our Pentateuch recap, wrap up. And yesterday we covered Genesis and Exodus, which are the 2 lengthier books of the Pentateuch.
Yep.
And so today we're doing Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy.
Sounds like a blast. Let's do this.
Okay. Okay, so continuing on with the 3rd book of the Pentateuch.
Yeah.
Okay, Leviticus.
All right.
Which is also referred to as the Book of Worship and Communion.
Got it. And if I recall correctly, this is the one where they build a lot of shit too, like the Ark of the Covenant and the tabernacle and all that shit.
Yeah, and they cover laws and regulations, rituals, practices, offerings, sacrifices, priestly duties, all kinds of bullshit.
Right.
I mean, it is dull as fuck.
It really was.
Yeah.
Like, there were some decent parts that we could make fun of good, but then it was so dull.
We had to try.
We had to really try.
Yeah, we dug deep.
Yeah.
We made it through the dark night of the soul.
Yeah.
And the stakes were raised.
Yeah, that was a rough chapter, or a rough book of the Bible.
Yeah. So, as you'll recall, Aaron was made the first priest guy, the first head priest.
Yep.
And almost immediately, 2 of his sons got killed.
Because wrong fire.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wrong fire. And that was to show the people how serious it was, even if you were like one of the top dogs. Yeah. That you were not gonna be like treated any more special. Spoiler alert,
it didn't take.
Right. No. No, I mean, nepotism is still a real thing here, but supposedly they were trying to show that there was no special treatment.
Yeah.
And that you have to take God's rules absolutely seriously.
Right.
And some of those rules were like rules for cleanliness, and those went on forever.
Oh my God, that was awful.
Yeah, what kind of foods you can eat, and
the color and shape and size of your boils that you have on your skin.
Yes, and your nightly emissions, and if you're on your period, and how long after you have a baby are you clean, and it depends if it's a boy or a girl, and Yeah, it was just all kinds of crazy.
Yeah, I think they skip a lot of that in church.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I could see why, but, you know, they really just
honestly, I think they gloss over the entire Old Testament more or less.
Yeah.
So they kind of cherry pick here and there.
Well, I noticed that on Twitter, a lot of people are like, it's not like that in the New Testament. And I'm like, right, but it's just that you guys always say the Bible.
Right.
Which includes the Old Testament.
And it's the same God.
Yeah.
So,
and you keep telling me that God doesn't change and he's infallible.
Right.
And yet you've got this whole other portion of the book that you guys completely fucking vow.
Yeah.
So,
until you don't.
Right.
Because they'll claim stuff from it too.
Right. It's, like you said, cherry picking and just bullshit.
It really is.
So anyway, getting back to it.
Yeah.
The book of Leviticus covers the Day of Atonement, which is like once a year. They do just a massive sacrificey thing that's like just meant to like cover everything, like just in case we missed.
Isn't that where they send the goat out into the wilderness of Zen?
Azazel and the scapegoat is my next point on the list. Very good. Yeah. And do you remember what that was about?
Only vaguely.
They bring 2 goats for sacrifice, and they let one go.
Right.
And that one is supposed to take all of their sins and crimes and shit. And he's supposed to run off to Azazel. And
what the fuck was Azazel?
Never clarified particularly. They weren't sure if it was a land or a person or a deity. But
it could be a deity. Because, I mean, they do say that they believe in other gods, just not worshiping other gods.
Most scholars treat it either as a demon or as a something of the devil kind of thing. Sure. Which, I mean, whatever. Right. It's all bullshit, so who cares?
When you say scholar and devil in the same thing, it's, you're already walking down a fine line there.
By scholar, I am almost 99%, like almost 100% referring to people who study the time period. And like, I'm talking about educated people, not like just Bible thumpers.
Right. No, okay? I got you.
Yeah, I'm talking about like academics.
I understand.
Okay. Well, it occurred to me that I might not have made that clear when I refer to scholars. Right. And I just want everybody else to know that I'm not just talking about dum-dums. Right. So that's just my like generic word, scholars. Sure. So, moving on, they also have the Holiness Code, punishment for worshiping Molech or using magicians or mediums. Right. And they set up their calendar. Okay. And that was pretty much it for the book of Leviticus.
I remember being glad we were done with Leviticus.
I also remember that. It was boring AF.
When we moved on,
it got even boringer.
I mean, initially, yeah.
Yeah. The book of Numbers was like, it was as bad. Yeah. As
like just counting shit. And then like, I mean, there were some decent parts to it, but like the rebellion of Korah and stuff like that. And,
well, I didn't include that in my notes, so good for you.
Well, I'm just saying.
So the book of Numbers is also referred to as the book of pilgrims. Okay. Because they're getting ready, they're gearing up. They do 2 censuses in that thing. Right.
One later because they'd killed everybody.
Right. God, so they're like
I shouldn't say they. God had killed everybody.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, sorry. Exactly. So they journey from Mount Sinai to the plains of Moab on the border of Canaan. Right. Right. So they get there, and then 15,000 complainers are smote. Right. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Because they were like complaining pantses.
Yeah, no, it was bullshit.
And they sent spies into Canaan because they didn't have faith.
Yeah, and then only 2 of them said that they should attack, and the rest of them spread the rumors of the
but giants though.
And stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And the other 2 were like, but God got this, and also land of milk and honey. Right. But the scaredy pantses refused to take on Canaan, so they were condemned to wander the desert. And God was like, fuck all of you, peace out. See me again in 40 years. Right.
I mean, he's God. He could have let those 2 tribes in.
Right.
They were on the right side. Yeah. And like not punish them because they were doing the right thing.
Exactly.
But and he's God. He could have just let them in.
He could have, yeah, but he didn't let them in.
Bullshit.
Only their children got to see it. Yeah. Yeah, it is a bunch of bullshit.
Crap.
So that's pretty much it for Numbers. And, if I'm leaving stuff out, I'm just trying to hit the high points.
We're leaving stuff out for sure.
Okay.
I mean, there was was it in that chapter or was it in Deuteronomy where the talking ass happened?
See, I left that completely out.
Right. But I mean, there's some definitely some highlights through here that were fun.
Yeah.
But I mean, the general overarching idea of things we're hitting here and kind of just giving a brief synopsis. So
I think that would probably have been in Numbers because it's when they
went to Moab there, so it seems like that was the time frame.
Right. And they were like traveling from Egypt to Canaan the first time.
Right.
So
I could be wrong, but yeah.
I'm pretty sure that was Numbers.
Okay.
So in Deuteronomy, these are the words of Moses, is what this book is.
Yeah.
And Moses recounts the 40 years of wandering in the wilderness.
Mm-hmm.
And he reminds the Israelites to adhere strictly to God's commands.
So much he does that.
Yes. And he gives blessings and curses on those mountains.
Yes, he does. And those curses that God tells him to give are some fucked up shit.
They are some fucked up shit. Go back and listen to that episode.
Right? Yeah.
There's the Song of Moses.
That was don't listen. Don't go back and listen to that episode.
Skipping that.
Yeah.
Then there was the blessing of Moses.
Yeah, where he blessed the tribes and stuff.
Yeah, that
and
was.
Dan got the short stick.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
You're alive. Moving on. Leadership passed to Joshua at that point, and then Moses died and was buried by God either on a mountain or a valley.
Right.
And you and I couldn't
in our
agree.
reading, it said valley.
In that line,
I know, and in our reading, I said it.
But in other parts of our reading, it said valley. It said mountain.
Right there, it said valley.
But you can't say in our reading.
I'm picking on you for crying out loud.
Well, stop.
No.
Stop. So that's the entire book of Deuteronomy.
So, we're done.
We're done with
the Pentateuch.
Yeah, the Torah, the first 5 books of the Bible.
Okay, and I guess now we're going to be... Well, wait, what are we doing tomorrow?
Okay, so this is Wednesday, and tomorrow...
No, it's not Wednesday.
It's not?
No, it's Thursday.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. So we're recording these in advance, and I clearly don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Sorry. So, the next day... Oh, that's our special.
Oh. Okay, yeah.
Do we want to say what that is?
Well, no, we don't.
It's a special.
Yeah, there's a special.
It's a special bonus.
And it's going to be a one-time only for some of you.
For some of you.
But it could be an all-the-time for all of you if you wanted.
If you wanted.
Okay. We'll just leave it right there.
I'm going to put that on the table and walk away.
We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah.
Hey, wife.
Yes, husband.
Did you know that we are now on Patreon?
Yes, because you told me, but also, no, tell me more.
So we're on Patreon now.
Are we?
We are, and our supporters can go there and support us, and we have multiple levels all the way up to You Killed God.
That sounds really drastic and escalated quickly-ish.
Well, no, there's multiple levels before there, so it escalates on a sliding scale of, cheap to not cheap. Oh. But, we can definitely use any amount, so, any support is always appreciated.
So, what exactly is Patreon?
It's a place where you can show your support for our podcast. And
just our podcast?
Any podcast or any performer. But, we're the ones that, you're listening to right now. So maybe you should, support us. That'd be awesome.
That would be awesome. But we love you anyway.
So all you got to do is go to Patreon, look up Sacrilegious Discourse. It's actually patreon.com/sacrilegious discourse is our actual main page there. So head on over and send us some love.
Yeah. Husband, it's the end.
It is indeed, wife.
Tell the people where they can contact us.
Well, they can get a hold of us via our email, which is sacrilegiousdiscourse@gmail.com. We have Twitter at sacrilegious_D.
For D's nuts.
Oh, why do you know? Why do you keep doing that? Ugh. All right, we have a Facebook page, an Instagram page, and a Pinterest page. But if you really want to get our attention, Twitter's where it's at.
Twitter is where you're at.
Yeah.
And they should also review, like, and subscribe, yeah?
Definitely. Apple Podcasts reviews help us out tremendously. And we also can use your support on Patreon, which is a great place to support us as well. That would be at patreon.com/sacrilegious discourse.
Don't forget to say thanks.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.
Bye.